Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with another installment of Building the Team. This time around, we'll be looking at we'll be building teams in a format that has existed for quite some time in various games, including HeroClix. But to my knowledge, I've never, at least not intentionally, built in. That format being Pauper. The idea with Pauper is that you can only use commons, uncommons, and figures from starter sets or fast forces. The basic idea being that a pauper could easily play, as it's not very as the figures you would be playing with aren't that expensive. You would not be that expensive to buy individually. Generally speaking, though, there are exceptions to that concept. Looking at you, Mighty Thor Starter Hulk. So let's get started, shall we? First off, we got ourselves a Justice League team. Kick it off with Batman. Batman here comes in at 85 points. He's got the Justice League and Outsiders team abilities, as well as the Batman family, Gotham City, Justice League, Outsiders, Trinity, and Detective keywords. He's also got two traits. First off is leading the charge. When Batman makes the first attack during a turn and hits, until your next turn, other friendly characters with the Justice League keyword have protected Outwit. That's always really useful, because, Outwit, man. Next up we have, yeah, he does that. Lines of fire drawn to Batman are blocked unless the line of fire crosses only unoccupied clear squares. Okay. Alright, looking at the dial, we start off with the special speed power, using your momentum against you. This gives Batman charge, leap climb, and sidestep. When he breaks away, you may choose an opposing character he broke away from. If you do, after resolutions, place that character up to 2 squares away and within line of fire from its current square. Not too shabby. This gives way to regular sidestep. On attack, we open up with Incapacitate for a few clicks. On defense, he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower, which is always a plus. And power-wise, we open up with Combat Reflexes, which gives way to Super Senses. On damage, we open up without Wit, which then gives way to Perplex. Moving on to Wonder Woman. So 1D here comes in at 100 points. She's got the JLA team ability, as well as the Amazon, Justice League, Trinity, Mystical, and Warrior keywords. And she's got two traits. First off is leading the charge. When she makes the first attack during a turn and hits, until your next turn, other friendly characters with the Justice League keyword can use Close Combat Expert. Okay. Next up, we've got Lasso and Shield, which is energy shield deflection and super senses against close attacks. Looking at the dial, we open up with a few clicks of charge, followed by a few clicks of flurry. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of blades, which gives way to a few clicks of super strength. On defense, she's Indomitable. Oh, again, definitely a good thing. She opens up power-wise with Invulnerable, which then gives way to Toughness. Sadly, though, nothing on damage. Oh, excuse me. Next up, we've got the Flash. I love that sculpt. Seriously, I think probably the only Flash sculpt I like more is probably this one. Anyway, back on topic. So Flash comes in at 130 points. He's got the Justice League, or the JLA and PD team abilities, as well as the Central City, Justice League, Police, Scientist, and Speedster keywords. He also has improved movement, ignores elevation. And, like Batman and Wonder Woman, he has two traits. First off, we've got Speed Force. When the Flash moves at least one square and hits one or more adjacent characters, you may place a speed token on this card for action to resolve. Increase the Flash's speed value by the number of speed tokens on this card. Okay. And for reference, he starts off with a 13 square speed value. You can modify up to +3, which would mean 16, which is most of a standard map. Next up, we've got Faster Than Thought. The Flash can use super senses. Once per turn, you may remove a speed token from this card to re-roll one of his super senses rolls. Okay. Looking at the dial itself, we open up with some hypersonic speed, which gives way to charge. We've got nothing on attack, which kind of makes sense. On defense, we've got defend, which gives way to combat reflexes, which near the end gives way to willpower. And on damage, we open up with a special power, Flash Fact. If the Flash has at least 2 speed tokens on this card, he can use Empower. If he has at least 3 on this card, he can use Enhancement. If he has at least 4, he can use Probability Control. So the ideal number of speed tokens to have on his card is at least 4. Though I would say probably the ideal number would be 5, so that you've got to at least try and keep it at 5, and then continually add them, so you can constantly pull off one and reroll super senses rolls. All right, next up for the scene, we've got Aquaman. So Aquaman here comes in at 172 points. Yowza. And he's got the Atlantis, Justice League, and Ruler keywords, as well as improved movement or improved targeting. Improved targeting ignores hindering terrain. He is also a transporter with the dolphin symbol, so he ignores the detrimental effects of water terrain. But he can also utilize the movement. He can carry, and he can utilize the move and attack ability. Anyway, looking at that, he opens up with running shot, which then gives way to sidestep, which then gives way to charge. On attack, we open up with a special power, Trident of Neptune, Relic of Atlantis. At the beginning of your turn, choose one to last until you choose again. Enhancement of Leadership, or Energy Explosion, or Penetrating Psychic Blast. This kind of it depends on what you need, that gives way to Blazelaw's Fangs. He's indomitable. Starts off defense with Invulnerability, which gives way to Toughness, which then gives way to Super Senses. And then on damage, he opens up with a special power, Subtle Telepathic Push. Once per turn, he can use Outwit and Perplex. When he does, he may target characters with the Dolphin or Dolphin Transporter symbol anywhere on the map. That's pretty awesome. And finally, that gives way to Close Combat Expert. And now, because we're a bit light on points, I decided to throw in a piece of equipment. But I had to be very picky due to the format. So, as it's an uncommon, the Blood Axe, which will most likely be put on Wonder Woman, ideally. It'll serve her best. But the effect that it grants is Battle Fury, Exploit Weakness, and Steal Energy. So, I could, charge on. I could have Aquaman perplex up Wonder Woman's attack value. Have her charge on in with the Blood Axe, and then potentially do 6 penetrating damage. Not too shabby. And then if she's taking a click of damage, well, I can do the 6 clicks of penetrating and HeroClix. There's actually a lot that works really well with that. Plus, she'll ignore shape change that way, which is always nice to ignore shape change. Moving on to the New Warriors. So, the New Warriors were a super team that first debuted in the 90s. There have been, I want to say, 4 different iterations of them. The first was their initial version. Um, they were the idea being they were young heroes who came together to fight bad guys. Um, and they were funded by team leader Night Thrasher, who also owned a corporation. Later on, they would end up. Night Thrasher would end up arranging a reality show centering on the team, which had the team go basically driving around in an RV and being superheroes, and would end with the Stanford explosion that kicked off Civil War. After that, after a secret invasion, Night Thrasher's brother Bandit would take on the mantle of Night Thrasher and built his own New Warriors team, which actually consisted mostly of depowered mutants in powered armor. And it wasn't armor that would replicate the powers they had initially, but rather it gave them other powers. In most cases, at least. And finally, there was another more recent team that was led by that consisted of a lot of the former members of the team, or the original members of the team, including Justice. Let's see, Justice was involved. I want to say Sam Alexander Nova. Possibly Speedball. Yeah, but it was formed after the Heroic Age. I think Kane got involved too. But anyway, so looking at the team, we've got. We'll start things off with Turbo. Turbo comes in at 50 points. She's got the Initiative, Loners, New Warriors, Armor, and Reporter keywords. She also got a trait that this armor is awesome. Turbo can use inertial deflection. When she makes a close combat attack and hits, after action resolve, she can use Force Blast as a free action, targeting a single hit character. That's pretty cool. She's a flying transporter, so she can already carry, but she also has moved attack ability like Aquaman. She's got sidestep on speed. She got nothing on attack. On defense, we open up with toughness, which gives her super senses, and then on damage, opens up blank but clicks into close combat expert. Next up, we have Speedball, who is potentially the most infamous member of the team, being the sole survivor of the Stanford disaster. So Speedball here comes in at 62 points. He's got the Initiative and New Warriors keywords, as well as improved movement, ignores hindering terrain and characters. He's also got a trait Kinetic Bounce. Speedball ignores knockback damage. When he hits with or is hit by an attack, after action is resolved, place an acceleration token on this card, and you may place him in any square within his speed value and line of fire. Okay. Then we've got we open up with Charge, which gives rid of Force Blast. On defense, we open up with we've got Super Senses. On damage, we open up with the special power Hit twice as hard as I bounced. Speedball modifies his speed value by the number of acceleration tokens on this card. He modifies his damage value by +1 for every 2 acceleration tokens on this card. Okay. Alright. Next up, we've got Rage. First, I kind of dug his helmeted look from the 90s, but especially opposed to that, but yeah, beggars, choosers. Rage comes in at 74 points. He's got the Avengers, Initiative, New Warriors, and Brute keywords. He opens up with Leap Climb, which gives way to Charge, which then gives way to Sidestep. On attack, we've got Super Strength. On defense, he's Indomitable, and he opens up with Toughness, which gives way to Impervious, which is always nice to see. On damage, we open up with Battle Fury. And that gives way to Close Combat Expert. And I actually love the name for his Close Combat Expert. I punched the Hulk once. I mean, haven't we all? No, we haven't. Next up, we've got Spider-Girl. Spider-Girl comes in at 75 points. She's got the Spider-Man Ally team ability, but there are no team abilities for her to copy, so it's kind of pointless. She's also got the Avengers, New Warriors, and Spider-Man family keywords, as well as improved movement, ignores elevation, and the trait Calling Help from the Spider-Verse, which, since no one on the team has a Spider-Man family keyword, is also pointless. So looking at her dial, we open up with a couple clicks of Running Shot, which gives way to a few clicks of the special power Repel or Attract. Spider-Girl can use Force Blast and Plasticity. Okay. On attack, we've got a few clicks of starting off with Penetrating Psychic Blast. Always nice. On defense, we open up with a few clicks of Initial Deflection, which gives way to a few clicks of Super Senses. On damage, we open up with the special power Directional Spider Sense. Spider-Girl can use probability control, but only when she attacks or is attacked. Okay. And Directional Spider Sense gives way to a few clicks of Close Combat Expert. Next up, we've got Darkhawk. Darkhawk here comes in at 90 points. He's got the Spider-Man Ally team ability, as well as the Avengers, Fraternity of Raptors, Loners, New Warriors, and Armor keywords. He's also got a trait Body Switch in Null Space. Give Darkhawk a free action. When you do, he modifies his defense value by -2 and can use Shape Change, but can't use any other powers or abilities until your next turn. At the beginning of your next turn, heal him to click number 2. Oh, not too bad. Looking at the dial, we open up with some Charge, which gives way to Force Blast. On attack, we open up with the special power Grappling Hook. When he hits with a ranged combat attack and action resolve, you may place the hit character in any square adjacent to Darkhawk. That's actually pretty cool, especially if you've got someone adjacent to him that can put the hurting on him from up close, like say Rage. Anyway, Grappling Hook gives way to Blaze Claw's Fangs. On defense, we open with Toughness, which then gives way to Energy Shield Deflection. And then on damage, we open up blank, but that gives way, but it clicks into Perplex. Next up, we've got Ultra Girl. Ultra Girl here comes in at 98 points. And she's got the Initiative, Kree, and New Warriors keywords. She opens up with Hypersonic Speed, followed by Charge. On attack, she's got Super Strength. On defense, she starts off with Vulnerability, which gives way to Toughness, which then gives way to Combat Reflexes. And on damage, she starts off blank, but she clicks into the special power. I guess I can heal too. At the beginning of your turn, heal Ultra Girl of 1 damage. Okay. Moving on to Nova Prime. Nova here comes in at 150 points. He's got the Avengers, New Warriors, Nova Corps, Police, and Soldier keywords, as well as the Share Through the World Mind trait, which, as there's no other figures on the team with the Nova Corps keyword, is kind of pointless on this. Looking at the dial, we open up with Running Shot, which gives way to Hypersonic Speed, which then gives way to Phasing Teleport. On attack, he actually opens up with no attack powers, but he clicks into Penetrating Psychic Blast and then Pulse Wave. On defense, we open up with Invulnerability, which gives way to Toughness, which then gives way to Regeneration. On damage, he opens up with nothing, but clicks into Outwit, which is always kind of nice. It's kind of nice when, you know, to click into something like Outwit, especially as useful as Outwit can be. All right, moving on to the Legion of Superheroes. So we're going to start things off with Invisible Kid. I actually really like when WizKids makes figures like this where they're basically see-through. So Invisible Kid comes in at 53 points. He's got the Legion of Superheroes, Future, and Spy keywords. Also the Legion of Superheroes team ability, so he's a wild card. More on that later. Because there are 2 team abilities for him to copy on in this. Okay, so he's got a trait, Full Invisibility. Invisible Kid can use Stealth. Any line of fire drawn to Invisible Kid is blocked if he has no action tokens. Okay, alright. So something like Improved Targeting ignores hindering terrain? Yeah, doesn't matter if he has no action tokens. Anyway, looking at the dial, we open up with the special power, Shared Invisibility. Give Invisible Kid a free action and choose an adjacent character with the Legion of Superheroes keyword. That character can use Stealth until your next turn as long as it is adjacent to Invisible Kid. Nice. That gives way to Phasing Teleport. On attack, we open with Incapacitate. And we got nothing on defense. And on damage, he clicks into Perplex. Okay. Alright, there we go. Next up, we've got Cosmic Boy. Alright, so Cosmic Boy comes in at 70 points as the Legion of Superheroes team ability, as well as the Legion Founder, Legion of Superheroes, and Future keywords. He also has a trait, Welcome to the Legion. When you build your force, choose one character of 50 points or less. That character gains the Legion of Superheroes keyword and Flight this game. If your force includes other characters with this trait, you may increase the point value of your chosen character by 50 points if this character doesn't use this trait. Alright, so looking at the dial, we've got with special speed power, Magnetic Shield. When Cosmic Boy occupies hindering terrain, he and adjacent friendly characters can use Toughness. Okay. This gives way to Running Shot. On attack, we open up with Telekinesis, which then gives way to Pulse Wave. On defense, we open up with Willpower, which then gives way to Energy Deflection. And then on damage, we open up with the special power, Long Live the Legion. Cosmic Boy can use Perplex and Leadership. When he uses Leadership, on a result of 6, he may also remove a token from any adjacent friendly character with the Legion of Superheroes keyword. Okay, I'm guessing that to mean an additional one, or... yeah. Long Live Legion then gives way to Enhancement, which then gives way to Empower. Moving on, we've got Sunboy. That's one thing I kind of like about the Legion. They have, in all honesty, very cheesy names more often than not, which basically tell you exactly what they do. Usually. There are a few where you kind of have to learn more about the character to figure out what it is they do. Like Cosmic Boy. He's got Magneto's powers. Cosmic doesn't really. It's like your cosmic boy, but you have magnet powers. Whatever. Anyway, Sunboy comes in at 79 points. He's got the Legion of Superheroes team ability, as well as the Legion of Superheroes keyword and future keyword. Looking at the dial, we open up with some running shot. On attack, we open up with a special power, Radiant Spectrum. Sunboy can use Penetrating Psychic Blast and Pulse Wave. Okay. That gives way to Poison. On defense, we open up with Energy Deflection, which then gives way to Willpower. And nothing on damage. Moving on to XS. XS here comes in at 82 points. She has the Legion of Superheroes team ability as well as the Legion of Superheroes future and speedster keywords. She also has the Speed Force trait, just like Flash. When she moves at least one square and hits an opposing and hits one or more adjacent characters, you may place a speed token on the card after action resolve. And her speed value is increased by the number of speed tokens on the dial. Next, the other trait is Cross Dimensions. If XS has at least one speed token on her card, she can use Sidestep. If she has at least 3, she can use Improved Movement and ignores characters. If she has at least 5, she can use Improved Movement and ignores blocking terrain. Okay. Looking at the dial, we open up with special power, Last Second Save. XS can use hypersonic speed. She can carry characters regardless of their speed symbols if they share a keyword with her. She doesn't modify her speed value from the carry ability. Friendly characters occupying or adjacent to squares moved through by XS can also be carried, even if not adjacent to her at the beginning of the move. That's pretty sweet. Next up, we've got that gives way to charge. Then we got nothing on attack. On defense, we've got Super Senses. On damage, we start off with Probability Control, which then gives way to Empower. And on her top click, she can get up to 15 speed with speed tokens. So, yeah. Moving on, we've got Superboy. Now, you hear what I said about we get back to the whole wild card thing with this team? Well, now we're going to talk about that. So Superboy here comes in 100 points, and he's got 3 team abilities: the Legion of Superheroes team ability, Superman Ally team ability, and the Teen Titans team ability. So he can share either Superman or Titans with everyone. Want to make it so that Sunboy, Cosmic Boy, and Lightning Lad can see through hindering terrain? Okay, they're copying Superman Ally. Need to do some healing? Okay, Teen Titans. You get the idea. Alright, so Superboy also has the Kryptonian, Legion of Superheroes, Metropolis, Teen Titans, Young Justice, and future keywords. Looking at the dial, we open up with some charge, which gives way to sidestep. On attack, we open up with super strength, which gives way to telekinesis. On defense, we open up. Well, first off, he's got indomitable, but he opens up with invincible, which then gives way to toughness, which then gives way to regeneration. On damage, he opens up with empower, which then gives way to probability control. Okay. And finally, we've got Lightning Lad. One, I just want to say I love that sculpt. I think that's a really cool sculpt. And yeah, that's a great Lightning Lad sculpt. Anyway, Lightning Lad comes in 116 points. He's got the Legion of Superheroes team ability, as well as the Legion Founder, Legion of Superheroes, and future keywords. And he has 2 traits. He's got the Welcome to Legion trait, same as Cosmic Boy. He also has Winathian trait. With Lightning Lad is adjacent to a friendly character named Lightning Lass or Lightning Lord, modifies attack and damage value by +1. As neither one of those characters is on this team, it's not really going to matter. Looking at the dial, we open up with running shot on move, on speed. On attack, we open up with energy explosion, which gives way to pulse wave. On defense, he's indomitable. He's got inertial deflection. On damage, he opens up with ranged combat expert, which then gives way to perplex. Alright, that is it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Should be doing a... potentially being... I'm going to be looking into doing a retro review relating to one of next week's movie reviews in the next few days. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I put up new content. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.